Since the airing of the interview of both the Chief Executive Officer as well as that of the Chief Transport Officer, I wish to put on record that I have received several submissions from public officers within the Department of Transport, and ranging from different ranks, really and truly suggesting that they are in complete disagreement with some of the pronouncements made by the Chief Executive Officer in the Department of Transport and the Chief Transport Officer himself. First and foremost, it must be stated that the vacancy notice that went out for those positions were internal postings, meaning that in accordance with the recruitment and selection manual, when a vacancy arises, it ought to be published internally. The CEO ought to look internally to identify public officers within that department that may have the requisite qualifications, experience, and skills required to assume a higher post. If you look at the vacancy notices that they speak of, those notices were for internal purposes. They were not meant for external applicants. And so, when I look at the vacancies that were published, the corporal in question had no business applying because it was not an externally published vacancy. So he had not to have been shortlisted. Even under the current vacancy, the corporal of police does not qualify because he does not have experience as a senior transport officer or as a transport officer for that matter. So how did he get shortlisted? How was an interview conducted with him? I don't know, but there's clear breach of the established procedures, and this is the politicization of the public service that I keep speaking about. Not, of course, suggesting that the corporal was politically appointed, but it's the political corruption of how we recruit within the public service that would have caused him to be considered. Who I want to, and I wish to put on the record that that corporal is a personal acquaintance of mine. I consider his father a personal friend of mine. We went to school together, and so it's not personal here. It's simply speaking about the issue, and I need to make that clear because people like to politicize issue and they like to personalize issue, and I want to say that that corporal has a lot of respect for me, and I have a whole lot of respect for him